classes to a whole nother level. But when Snoopy the goat jumps on people's stomachs and backs, his position makes you wonder if he's going to do something socially unacceptable.
They are animals, so if you get some poo or pee on you, it's a bonus blessing, so.
Nevertheless, yoga classes with these Nigerian dwarf goats are selling out, and the farm is thinking of adding more to the schedule.
With intern Louie, that's this week's edition of Lola's Lowdown.
If they pee on you, it's good luck, Amanda.
Oh, I just could not do that.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate it very much. Have a good weekend, everybody. That'll do it for us at 4. News 3 at 5 starts right now. Right now at 5, the heat continues to be a major concern in southern Wisconsin. The hot and humid weather will stick around into next week.
This is News 3 at 5.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. From splash pads to pools to staying inside at the movies, people all across southern Wisconsin are trying to stay cool. Now from today until Sunday, with temperatures outside feeling anywhere from the high 90s to 105 degrees this weekend. Communities across the region are opening cooling shelters as a result. There are centers open now throughout Columbia, Rock, and Dane counties. If you or someone you know needs some relief from the heat, you can find a list of cooling centers on our website, channel3000.com. Dave Caulfield is in the Weather Center. Hi, Dave. What can we expect for the next couple of days?
Well, Susan, unfortunately, that heat and humidity not quitting anytime soon. Alert days, as you mentioned, in the forecast for tonight, Saturday, and on Sunday. For the next couple of days, it's for that dangerously hot and humid weather on the way. It could feel as high as 105 on the thermometer for tomorrow. Then some strong thunderstorms could come our way Saturday night into Sunday. Could bring some heavy bouts of rain. A live look in Madison, lots of sunshine on the WISC-TV Skycam. Current conditions, we are at 93 degrees, south-southwest wind at 10 miles per hour. That dew point not helping things either at 73 degrees. Some other temperatures at 94 in Boscobel. That is one of the hot spots. Also 94 in Fond du Lac, 90 in Waukesha, 93 in Janesville, and 91 in Monroe. As we take a look at the heat index, it feels like 110 right now in Boscobel, 111 degrees in La Crosse, and 109 in Lone Rock. It feels like 102 in Madison, and that's because of these very high dew points. Still have an 80 on the dew point map in Platteville. That is just absolutely ridiculous. 79 in Mineral Point and 73 in Madison. Wind speed's not helping either, because they're helping bring some of that hot, humid air from the south into town at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Another breezy day on the way for tomorrow. This evening, it stays pretty breezy, partly cloudy, very mild and muggy, with temperatures falling through the 90s into the low 80s. And temperatures will remain warm and humid this evening before tomorrow. Another very hot and humid day is on the way. We'll take a look at that in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Dave. You want to make sure you drink plenty of water in this extended heat stretch. It's a good idea to keep an eye also on how hot surfaces are getting in the sun. Our Madeline O'Neill is live. She's at the Elver Park splash pad today with how to deal with this weather. I bet that's a popular place this afternoon, Maddie.
It is, Susan, and I don't blame them with this heat. This is not a bad place to come. And now we borrowed this infrared thermometer from meteorologist Dave. Thank you, Dave. It gives us an estimate of how hot the sun is making surfaces. Now, even just the pavement here is coming out at 118 degrees, and that's hot, but playground equipment can get that hot or even hotter. Earlier today, we tested out a park seesaw. That came out to about 119 degrees, and UW Health doctors tell us there isn't an exact temperature that will lead to burns, but they have seen kids burn from metal slides and blacktop. Health officials are encouraging us to limit time spent outside, but those who are venturing out, like Teeny Young and her daughter at this splash pad, know how important it is to stay cool.
It's very important. I mean, she can get heat strokes super easy, so can I. We just need to keep her cool and make sure she's having fun.
Health officials recommend drinking about 2 to 4 cups of water for every hour spent moving around outside. And now this splash park here will be open until 7, along with Madison's other 2 splash parks. They are open from 10 to 7 daily and will be open this weekend. It'll be a hot one, so I'm sure they'll be busy. Susan?
Yes, they will. They definitely will. All right, Maddie O'Neill reporting live. Thanks so much, Maddie. Summerfest is making some changes because of the heat. Organizers say people attending the Milwaukee Music Festival can bring in sealed, unopened water bottles or an empty, clear plastic water bottle today and tomorrow. Outside food and drink are typically not allowed into Summerfest, but Summerfest will also offer misting stations throughout the grounds this weekend to help people stay cool. The weather is impacting blue-green algae blooms in the lakes, unfortunately. A few of Madison's beaches, though, are reopening just in time for the weekend. Yesterday, the county closed 16 of the 19 monitored beaches due to a potentially harmful bacteria and blue-green algae bloom. We've been keeping track of the beaches that are closed on our website, channel3000.com. If your plans depend on the weather, make sure you download our Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic app. It is free in the App Store. The family of a young woman who took her own life inside a Dane County group home following a brutal sexual assault is suing employees of the home for wrongful death. It's a story News 3 has been investigating for 2 years. The family of 17-year-old Brianna Kalk filed a federal lawsuit this month against Orion Family Services, who ran the now closed Spahn Avenue home for girls, claiming that employees did not cut the girl down after they found her hanging in her closet and refused to perform CPR. Kalk, whose family now says they want her story told, was gang raped in a Wisconsin Department of Corrections halfway house where News 3 found lax monitoring. Nathan Thompson was the 4th man found guilty of sexual assault by a jury yesterday. The Madison Police Department is encouraging parents to be extra involved in their kids' lives. They have a new campaign called #SearchAndRescue. The idea is for parents to check and make sure that their children do not have access to guns. Amanda Quintana is in the newsroom with more on the efforts to keep kids safe. Amanda?
Yes, well, the term helicopter parenting often has a negative connotation, but the Madison Police Department is promoting the idea. They want parents to know exactly where their child is going and if they might have access to a gun. The idea for this campaign started a couple months ago when officers were talking to parents about school shootings. The goal is to keep guns out of the hands of teens and kids. And in the past 2 years, 94 juveniles have been arrested for incidents involving guns.
Do we know what our kids have access to? Do we know what is in our kids' bedrooms or in our kids' backpacks or in our kids' vehicles? And as parents, are we doing everything in our power to make sure that they don't have access to guns?
MPD is using social media to help spread the message of this campaign. The department is also looking at making a billboard as well to get the word out. And you can learn more about the #SearchAndRescue campaign by visiting our website, channel3000.com.
Amanda Quintana in the newsroom. Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks.
Farm accidents are something that we report far too often here in Wisconsin, whether it's a young boy trampled by cattle or a young man killed by manure gases. So there are all kinds of dangers on the farm that many first responders may not really understand when they first show up to an emergency. Our Leah Linscheid has a look at an event this week that's teaching medical professionals how to handle cases across the county.
Types of gases.
Katie Lidke is all about helping people.
Kind of a calling, I guess.
An instinct instilled on the family farm and cultivated into a career as both a nurse and an EMT.
The thing about medicine is you can always learn and there's always opportunities to try something new.
We can't make the situation worse.
That's why she's here, hoping to learn how to help more people with rural roots like her own.
Agriculture is one of the world's most dangerous occupations.
UW Health is hosting its 50th annual Emergency Care Symposium this week. It's on site at UW's Research Farm, a setting some medical professionals don't often see.
We're used to being in car accidents and fires and things like that, heart attacks or whatever, but again, showing up in the rural places that we see, it's very different.
Here, 200 first responders, physicians, and nurses are learning about some of the most traumatic injuries caused by getting stuck in a grain bin, accidents with large farm equipment, or even the dangers of manure gases.
We're tending to see less and less rescuers that have an agriculture background. So it's good to get these experiences and this training.
So be aware of that.
Even with a farm background, Katie's got some questions.
I'm pretty familiar. I don't know what this one exactly does. Have you ever had that happen here?
And the answers are going to help her keep helping others.
Even just recognizing what's happening and being able to do one thing. If you just have that one thing in your mind that you know how to do, whether it's stop bleeding or start CPR, that's going to make a huge difference.
Outside Arlington, I'm Leah Lynchide for WISC News 3.
The UW Health Symposium wrapped up this week. Participants from all over the Midwest are headed back home to share their newfound knowledge with their respective hospitals and EMT teams. Foxconn Technology Group plans to open an office in Green Bay. The company announced today it has reached an agreement to purchase a building in downtown Green Bay that will serve as an innovation center. The center will create at least 200 high-tech jobs. Workers will focus on developing apps for the company's display screens. Foxconn is also building a large campus in Mount Pleasant. A historic school in Janesville is having one last celebration tonight after announcing it will be closing its doors permanently this year. An alumni event at St. Patrick's School is meant to honor the school's 150-year history. It's going on right now and includes tours, a dance, and other entertainment. St. Patrick's alumni say the school has deep ties to the community of Janesville.
There are so many people from the Janesville community that have some connection here. Their grandfather went here, their grandmother went here, their great-grandmother, their great-grandfather, and were married here. It just has a tremendous focal point for the communities.
The event tonight is free and open to the public, and we'll have a recap of the celebration tonight at 9 and 10. It is the end of an era for Toys R Us. The store is closing all of its U.S. locations today. The company filed for bankruptcy in September, and after poor holiday sales, Toys R Us announced it would go out of business this summer in the United States. Over the last few weeks, Toys R Us has sold everything, including its fixtures. The Madison store has signs posted on the windows that it is already closed. And two other Madison stores announced plans to close today. The final day for the Staples on Verona Road will be August 3rd. Company representatives cited the shift toward online shopping as one of the big reasons the store is closing, but the Monona and Janesville Staples stores will remain open. Sears plans to close its Westtown Mall location this September. A spokesperson for the company says the decision was made as part of ongoing efforts to streamline the company's operations and focus on its best stores. The Auto Center will close sometime in August. It's unclear how many employees will be affected by the Westtown Mall closure. One store not closing is Kohl's. It's actually hiring and getting a 6-month head start on the holidays. The company is already accepting applications for seasonal positions because there is a tight job market, making it harder for places to find workers. An executive for Kohl's says this is the earliest the store has started hiring seasonal workers ever. Still to come tonight at 5, new details about a deadly shooting at a newspaper office are emerging from Annapolis, Maryland, hours before a vigil to honor the victims. And President Trump says U.S. tariffs are a must to level the economic playing field, but Canada is fighting back today. We'll have that story next at 5. Police in Maryland are uncovering more evidence of a possible motive in yesterday's deadly attack at a newspaper office. Today, a judge ordered the suspect be held without bond. Prosecutors say he hunted down employees at the Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland. 5 people died in the attack, and a vigil will be held for them tonight. The accused shooter had a long history with this newspaper. In 2012, he sued the paper for defamation for publishing a story about his harassment conviction involving a former high school classmate. He lost that lawsuit and then began harassing journalists.
We brought to the judge's attention the evidence that suggested a coordinated attack, the barricading of a back door, and the use of a tactical approach.
A GoFundMe page started by a fellow journalist has already raised more than $125,000 for funeral expenses. America's trade war continues to escalate. Canada is announcing billions of dollars in retaliatory tariffs against the United States in response to the Trump administration's tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum. Canada released a final list today of items that will be subject to taxes of up to 25%. It includes not only steel and aluminum, but also consumer items like ketchup and lawnmowers. The president's actions on trade are impacting the U.S. manufacturing industry, which will have to pay more for imported materials. This week, Wisconsin-based Harley-Davidson said it will move production of some of its motorcycles overseas, prompting threats from the president. Canada's tariffs on U.S. goods go into effect on Sunday, the country's strongest trade action since World War II. Out to the weather patio now. It's almost July in Wisconsin, so you expect heat and humidity, but this is going to be an extended stretch. And Dave Caulfield, you look like you are ready for a summer weekend.
I mean, I have to try and stay cool any way that I can, and the shades are helping just a little bit, but not much, because this is just insta-sweat weather as you step outside. We can thank, at least in part, a warm front that is close to us for helping bring those southerly and southwesterly winds to us, and that actually brings up some even warmer air into town. So really not looking like any cool down in sight over the next couple of days. So find any way that you can to stay cool. We do have some excessive heat warnings for much of southern Wisconsin into late tomorrow evening. Other spots have heat advisories. There is a heat-related bulletin in half of the country. Literally 25 out of 50 states have some sort of heat-related bulletin, whether that's an advisory or an excessive heat warning. High temperatures today in the low to mid 90s for many of us. Zooming in a little bit closer to home, high in Madison of 93, 95, the warmest spot in Boscobel, and actually La Crosse close to 98 degrees for today. Alert days, we've been talking about them. They're still in the forecast for tonight because it will still be muggy and mild. Then tomorrow it could feel as warm as 105 at times. Saturday night into Sunday, some strong thunderstorms could come our way. And it's important when we are out in the heat over the next couple of days to know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Remember, heat stroke is the more serious of those two, and you can see the differences there. You may actually lose consciousness if you have heat stroke, and you're going to want to get cool in any way that you can with these. But with heat stroke, it's important that you call professional help or 911 if you think someone is suffering from that. Temperatures right now are still very warm in the low to mid 90s across the area. Not really any 80s to at least have something to look forward to. Dew points are just in crazy levels still. We had a number of spots hit the 80s in dew point land, which is just incredible. Unbelievable outside. 73 the dew point in Madison right now, and that's helping these heat index values go into the stratosphere. Our high temperature trend over the next 7 days, not much cooler. We get the mid 80s on Sunday and Monday, so let's have a party for that. But temperatures are really just staying around the 90-degree mark for the foreseeable future. Downtown Madison, lots of sunshine on our Edgewater Skycam. The almanac for today, 93 degrees, about 15 degrees above normal for this time of year. Doppler track not showing any rain or storms to help rescue us from this heat, and really across much of the Midwest, we are pretty quiet. However, those strong storms Saturday night into Sunday could produce some hail, some strong winds, and also very heavy downpours at times. So we do have some severe weather to possibly look forward to or look out for on Saturday night into Sunday. Tonight, temperatures only dropping into the 70s. Into tomorrow, breezy, hot, and humid. Could feel as high as 105 outside. And the heat index is not giving us any breaks. It will still feel like the 90s for much of tomorrow. Then as we head into the next couple of days, specifically Saturday night into Sunday, some strong storms could come our way. It really won't cool us down that much, but it could bring us some nasty weather on Sunday and also Saturday night into Sunday as well. So we'll have to keep an eye to the sky for much of Sunday. Your 10-day forecast showing temperatures really staying close to 90 over the next couple of days and some slight shower chances on the way for much of next week as well. Here's your first alert traffic update. We're taking a live look at the Beltline and Verona Road. Things aren't looking too bad right now, but we do have those normal slowdowns. It's a Friday on the Beltline after all, so what you might expect is coming to fruition outside. We still do have those delays a little bit closer to John Nolan Drive and Park Street, closer to Verona Road as well. So Verona Road to John Nolan eastbound, that's 15 minutes with an average speed right around 15 to 20 miles per hour. That is your first alert traffic. And I looked this up, Susan. There is a town in Michigan called Hell, and they got to about 90 degrees today. So it literally is hotter than hell outside in Madison.
But I'm bummed. Well done, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. When we come back, a new procedure could change the way doctors perform cataract surgery. We'll show you how it works next at 5.
At 5.
A new device is changing the way some doctors perform cataract surgery. Nikki Batiste shows us how it works.
Helen Polinsky loves the theater, but shows started getting a little blurry.
I couldn't see anything that was happening on the stage, just some silhouettes.
And look straight at me, please.
She needed surgery for cataracts, a clouding of the lens of the eye, which can affect vision. Most are related to aging.
Just using this handheld device to...
Helen's doctor, Kira Manousis with New York Eye and Ear Infirmary of Mount Sinai, used this new handheld device called the MyLoop to treat her right eye.
Generally, we take out a cataract and break it up in the eye using either ultrasound energy, laser energy, and both of those modalities deliver energy into the eye. MyLoop can do the same thing, but without delivering that energy.
And no energy to the eye means less swelling and inflammation.
It's like a cinching device. It loops around the lens, and then you close it, and it breaks it in half.
Dr. Manousis says the new technology allows patients to recover faster.
Finally.
Helen had some discomfort right after the procedure, but says she could see perfectly within a day.
We went to the theater, totally different story. I saw everything on the stage, the facial expression of the actors, everything.
She's driving without glasses and looking forward to traveling this summer and seeing all the sights clearly. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
Cataracts are very common in older adults. About half of all Americans have them by the time they turn 75. We'll get a final check on the weather with Dave when we come back. Dave and I just looked it up. It is more humid here right now than it is in Miami.
Yep, so cancel that flight to Miami. You don't need it. Just head outside right now. Maybe not. Maybe there are some other reasons to head down to Miami. But heat index right now, it still feels like triple digits across much of the area. The only exception, Waukesha, at a very cool 96 degrees right now. Your day planner for tomorrow, starting off in the 70s, will reach highs in the mid to upper 90s, and it will feel like the triple digits once again. Your 7-day forecast showing not much relief from the heat. Plenty of chances for some showers and storms as we head into next week.
All right, thank you, Dave. Take good care, everybody. Stay cool. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back here for News 3 at 6. The CBS Evening News is coming up next.